It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. Now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Showtime, what's happening, everybody? The Geno Jones Show. Bam! I'm coming to you live Monday through Friday. Unless it's a holiday or something like that. 6:30 p.m. Eastern. The Geno Jones Show is brought to you by CM like Mary. CM Transportation. If your business needs a transportation company that is dependable, reliable, and on time, not CP time, CM Transportation, LLC.net, CM Transportation, LLC.net. That is who you contact. Really, that's the company. Shout out to Carissa Carter. Carissa Carter, the CEO of CM Transportation. You can give them a call. You can ask for Carissa Carter. She's the CEO, but if she's not busy, she'll take your call and you can tell her that your company needs a transportation company that is dependable, reliable, and on time, or you are about to launch a business and you need a transportation company that is dependable, reliable, and on time. 843 area code 606-2702, 606-2702. 843 is the area code based here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro. They do business nationwide. So today's monologue, we're going to just strictly talk about Project 2025. Now, you've been hearing me talking about Project 2025 for about a year. And the danger that it really poses to all of us, specifically black people, Hispanic, Afro-Latino, and even these so-called the white Hispanics, because they're coming for you all too. So this part of this plan to basically deport 20 million undocumented immigrants. Oh, some of you so-called white Hispanics that identify more white than Hispanic, because you could kind of somewhat pass. If you don't think they're coming for you too, then you are mistaken. All right, so what is Project 2025? For the brothers in the barbershop and the sisters in the salon, in the hair and nail salon, Project 2025, it's a blueprint. It's a booklet. It's really a blueprint, a handbook, nearly 1,000 pages, over 900 pages. As a matter of fact, you can download it. You can download it on your computer in a PDF. You can download the PDF and print out all 900, nearly 1,000 pages. Probably come into 2 booklets. I've seen it. If you print out almost 1,000 pages, it's going to be basically 2 booklets, basically that thick. Project 2025 is really a blueprint to return America back to the Jim Crow and I call suffrage age. For a long time, women could not vote. They couldn't buy a home. They couldn't take out a line of credit. And we understand that the Jim Crow era was just legalized segregation. It allowed jobs. It allowed public accommodations, hotels and restaurants and libraries, museums. It allowed companies. It allowed those who were in real estate, those who had insurance companies, movie theaters, you name it, to legally be racist and discriminate against black people. So Project 2025 is like Jim Crow 2.0, Jim Crow / suffrage. It is a plan to basically take America back 200 years and to make segregation, to allow companies and businesses to be as racist as they wanted to, without having to worry about committing a crime, violating a person's civil rights, because that's only a chopping block to repeal the Civil Rights Act of 1964. 60 years ago, last Tuesday, former President Lyndon Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act, and you had the Voting Rights Act of 1965, Fair Housing Act, all that, 68, all that came behind that. So Project 2025 plans to basically, like I say, get rid of the Civil Rights Act, not renew the Voting Rights Act, which will allow states to engage in all type of either new or old school voter suppression. You know, back in the day, you had to be able to count the number, they would put a jar of jelly beans in front of you, and you'd have to guess the accurate number. Even if you did, they would probably say you were lying anyway, that you were wrong. Look at the jar and tell us how many jelly beans in a jar. Or like a literacy test. You had to be able to recite like the Constitution by heart. They came up with all type of ways to keep our ancestors from voting. Well, Project 2025 wants to allow that, and some old school voter suppression and new school. If it meant closing polling locations, polling places where people vote, close them down in the black neighborhoods. Only have polling places open in white neighborhoods or in neighborhoods where you had to drive 30, 40, 50 miles to go vote. Like I said, Project 2025 wants to have a national abortion ban. Project 2025 wants to ban birth control. People who need help in terms of their fertility issues to have children. There's a technology, IVF, that allows couples who don't have children to have children. They want to get rid of that. That's funny. But they want more white women, young white women, to have children and to not terminate pregnancies, because the people behind Project 2025 want basically a white nationalist theocracy, Christian government, a Christian nation with one official religion, which is their remixed racist version of Christianity, white Christian nationalism. And so this is not me talking. This is all in Project 2025. You can see it for yourself. Allow segregations of parks and restaurants and hotels and movie theaters, courthouses. Jobs can just fire people just because. We really don't like a black person. We really don't want to have too many black folks, so we don't want to hire you. But we could just make up any bullshit. Or just not even tell you why. And just be straight up racist about it. We talked about things like national abortion ban, banning birth control, basically allowing a president that the Supreme Court said that he has full immunity to make whatever decision he wants if it's deemed an official act. Complete immunity. So a president, according to the Supreme Court, couldn't even commit a crime. If he ordered Navy SEALs to assassinate President Biden, if you had Orange Hitler back in the White House, because he's already talked about putting President Biden in jail and Hillary Clinton and people in the Justice Department and people in the media he didn't like and other people he didn't like personally, to use the Justice Department as his own, it's the best way to put it, like a mafia leader that has like hitmen and enforcers that go out and beat up people if they don't pay. You got old school mobsters in certain communities and business owners. They had to pay off the mob leaders. You got to give them 20, 30, 50%. If you didn't pay this extortion fee, they call it protection, you get beat up, killed, your business burned down, destroyed. So in essence, the Justice Department would be like the thugs, the goons, as the kids in the street may say. Your thugs and your bullies to go out and enforce what you want. To force intimidation, fear, to get you to succumb and give in to the cult, the religious cult, the theocracy. Oh, by the way, since we're talking about law enforcement, now Project 2025 wants to allow the president to basically militarize local police. Now, what does that mean? That means that Orange Hitler, if was president, peaceful protests, because he did this when he was president, he sent out the National Guard, also federal police who were dressed in like all black. Who did that? What dictator did that about 100 years ago? Mussolini, who was the dictator of Italy. Google Mussolini. Hitler had something similar. It was like they weren't in the military, but they were like federal police officers. But he empowered them to go to beat up, shoot if necessary, and kill the brown shirts. Mussolini had the black shirts. Hitler had the brown shirts. Trump basically would like to engage and hide. The Proud Boys, like you said in that debate back in 2020, Proud Boys stand back and stand by. So all these white Christian and some are not Christian, racist, right-wing, white militia groups, your Proud Boys, your Oath Keepers, your 3%ers, your Boogaloo Boys, all these patriot fronts. You had these coward-ass, punk-ass, hiding their faces. One of these, white nationalist militia groups marching through downtown Nashville. I think on the 4th, because Saturday was the 4th. So Orange Hitler would just basically he would turn the military, the National Guard, he would send in the military to end peaceful protests, like he did in 2020. But Project 2025 wants to give him that permanent power to militarize local police. So if you're protesting because there's a national abortion ban, or if you're protesting because the Civil Rights Act was basically getting an executive order, he got rid of the Civil Rights Act, and if you try to appeal it to the Supreme Court, well, you got a MAGA cult that runs the Supreme Court that said the president has absolute immunity when it comes to anything that is an official act. Who determines an official act? It'll be Orange Hitler who would be in the White House. So they've already got pieces in place. This MAGA cult, this Project 2025, and it's written by a group of right-wing, white, racist think tanks and organizations like the Heritage Fund. The Heritage Fund, led by a guy named Kevin Roberts, who's the president, who was on a television show or podcast that said we are in the midst, we are under or in the second. This election is like the beginning of the second revolution, America's second revolution. That shall remain, I'm paraphrasing, that will remain bloodless, or it will be nonviolent if the left allows it. You can Google that, the exact quote. That we are in the midst of I'm paraphrasing, we are in the second American Revolution to take power, and that revolution will remain bloodless, nonviolent, if the left allows it. So it's threatening violence. If all of America doesn't go along with the MAGA cult and their desire to turn America into a religious, to turn America's government, that's what you need to understand, to turn America's government into a racist, white, right-wing cult, religious cult. And all America has to bow down and go by the laws that this cult that has been spelled out in writing in Project 2025. Here's the blueprint on what we want America to look like. We want to deport 20 million people. We want to have internment camps. So when they get through deporting the undocumented people, or as they call them, illegal aliens, What if they don't like black people that are protesting, or Afro-Latinos, or even white people who don't want to be part of the MAGA cult, or Asian Americans, or Native Americans? All the president, who's the cult leader, all Hitler has to do is sign an executive order and write an executive order that says these people are a threat to democracy, they are traitors, and they are a threat to national security. So my executive order, I deem that these people are dangerous and they need to be locked up, put in internment camps. America did it before in the 40s. After Japan bombed Pearl Harbor, Japanese Americans were literally rounded up and put in what they called internment camps, like prisons. Some cases like open-air prisons. You can Google it. You can find just Japanese internment camps in America. There's your Google search right there. You can see the pictures. That's all a part of Project 2025 and so many more, along with if you have the Affordable Care Act or Obamacare, wants to get rid of that, so roughly over 100 million people could lose their health care. Now, if you have a grandparent that was able to get insulin at $35 a month, because President Biden basically fought, they call big pharma, these big pharmaceutical companies, and he won, and he basically got, especially those who are on Medicare, the most they pay a month now is $35 a month for insulin, if they need insulin, if they're diabetics. Orange Hitler, Project 2025, wants to get rid of that, wants to get rid of Obamacare, wants to get rid of basically any kind of supports, Medicare, Medicaid. Roughly 100 million people would lose their insurance, and many people would never be able to be reinsured because of whatever health challenges, whatever pre-existing conditions. These big companies would charge you out of the ass, and if you were considered a risk, back in not too long ago, women were considered a risk, a high risk when it came to insurance company. They were charging women more because women could get pregnant and have children. So all this is a part of Project 2025. And shout out to Taraji P. Henson on the BET Awards about 9 days ago, a week ago last Sunday. She talked about Project 2025 is real. It's real. You damn right it's real. It's really real. And these folks have been coming up with a plan to basically, like in a day, fire like 50,000 government workers who are not like part of a political party. These are civil servant workers. People like if you go to find out something about your Social Security, any government agency, that maybe the IRS, any government agency, you need to get some federal help. All these federal government offices, they want to start off firing 50,000 people. And part of Project 2025 is they've already recruited people who will take a loyalty test, not to the Constitution, but to Orange Hitler Donald Trump. People who will be loyal to the dictator, not to the country. And take those people who are loyal to a dictator and have them replace people who have been working in different government jobs to protect the environment, to protect our food, to find out whether or not there's another pandemic coming. Scientists and engineers, get rid of them. And bring in people, you don't need no damn experience. We'll replace an engineer with somebody that was unemployed. Are they going to be loyal to the dictator? Come on, Dan. Come on. We got a spot for you. This is not my opinion. You can read it for yourself. Project 2025 is a blueprint, a handbook, and they're so bold with it, they put it in writing and will allow anybody to read it online, to download it, to save it as a PDF. That's how arrogant this cult is. That's how confident and arrogant they are. That the majority of Americans who don't subscribe to this cult mentality will just kind of sit by and be passive and let it happen. And that's not going to happen. We're not going to let it happen. I am not going to let it happen. And you are not going to let it happen. Because we, which is one of the scary parts to this cult, they understand this is like the last chance for them to really establish this racist, sexist, misogynistic religious cult, to where the 1%, the racist, right-wing, hatred, racist-minded billionaires, those in power, but they're not just racist, because they don't just hate black folks, black people. They really look down on even other white people who are not part of their billionaire class. The billionaires that support Project 2025, the billionaires behind the Heritage Foundation, the people who support the president of the Heritage Fund, which produced Project 2025, hired a whole bunch of right-wing, white Christian nationalists and non-nationalists, just white racists, to come up with, let's come up with a blueprint, let's come up with a plan, a blueprint, a booklet, to where in like the first 180 days, the first 6 months, if we can get Orange Hitler back in, we can just boom, like a blitz, like a defense blitzing a quarterback in a football game, to get rid of civil rights and voting rights, and to come up with a law to where if someone is engaging in racism, and a black person, a person of color, accuses a racist of acting, or even if you got proof, that the racist can sue you for accusing them of being racist. Oh, I'm not making this up. This is all a part of Project 2025. To eliminate in any kind of government contract, any kind of government law, the mention of race, gender, equity, inclusion, diversity, all those would be like cuss words. They would be eliminated. So be aware. But be aware, but don't be afraid. Be aware and be bold. Be aware and step into your power. Because they don't have the power, and they are depending on you being depressed and disillusioned and full of despair and fear. Oh my God, oh, we can't, oh, you can stop them because you got the power, each and every one of us, and they are afraid of your power and my power. Those who want a country that's rooted in compassion, empathy, humanity, decency, and fairness, and equality and equity for everybody, even the white racist, even the MAGA cult. We want you to have access to live your best life. As long as you living your best life doesn't mean that you can engage in hatred and racism and misogyny and sexism. Just stay your hateful ass over there. Take your hateful ass to work. Have your hateful ass run your company with your racist ass. And some of you all are racist, but you love money. So you'll still do business and sell products to black folks and women and Hispanics and gay and lesbian, bisexual, trans community. Believe what you want to believe. That's your belief. But you can't impose your hatred, your bigotry, your misogyny and sexism. You can't impose, you can't You can't impose your remix version of Christianity, because to these white Christian nationals, you all don't even understand, if you knew that, like, what Christianity actually, where it originated from, where it came from, the continent of Africa, like Ethiopia. Just Google Coptic Christians. The origins of Christianity didn't start in like the South in the 50s or 60s or the 40s, 1940s, 50s, or 60s. It didn't start in Jerry Falwell's church or Pat Robertson or any of these white Christian, white evangelicals with their remixed version of Christianity. The same type of Christianity that allowed white people to enslave our ancestors and feel that they had a moral right to do it because there was some cherry-picked part of the Bible that said, oh, masters obey their slaves. Okay, really? Y'all want to have it? Trust me. So you really don't want to talk about the Bible and, who wrote the Bible, and that's a whole different show. The Council of Nicaea, that's too heavy. I'm not going to hit y'all with that. Just understand that America's version of Christianity is just a really remixed version of Christianity, because America has only been around since 1776, 248 years. Christianity is thousands and thousands of years old. And this version of Christianity ain't even close to the original version of Christianity that was started on the continent of Africa. So, what was Taraji P. Henson talking about? What was Taraji telling everybody when she said, look it up, Project 2025, these people are serious. They are serious about turning this country into a racist, white, Christian, nationalist cult to strip away the rights, to even get rid of their plans in Project 2025, to get rid of the things like the 14th Amendment, to where a president could make an executive order and say, well, you know what? These black folks, I know that a lot of you all, millions of you were born in America, but I'm changing what I determine. He'll get to determine what is citizenship and who is an American citizen and who is not. In Project 2025, that a racist, sexist, misogynistic president would have the power to take away your citizenship and my citizenship. When we were born here, and my mother and father was born here, and my grandparents were born in America, and you think you can just take my citizenship because you want to? Because you are afraid that there's not enough white people that's being born. White women are not having enough babies. And there's going to be more non-white people, because now every day there are more non-white babies born every day than there are white babies. So the racists and the sexists are freaking out. That's what this is all about. But they want white women to have more babies. Because not only is it racist and misogynistic and sexist, but they're anti-labor. They want to get rid of unions because they want to have a pool of poor, working-class white people that they have tricked to believe that the reason that you have been living in poverty in rural Kentucky or West Virginia or rural South Carolina or Georgia or Mississippi is because black people have somehow found a way to open businesses and become successful. That a black person is the reason that your ass haven't had dental care in 50 years. The reason your teeth have fallen out of your mouth. Not because these people empower the 1%, never wanted to have any type of national health care program. They want to get rid of Medicare. They want to get rid of Social Security. That is part of the plan of Project 2025. And take it back to an era before FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, President Roosevelt, like in the 30s, when he started Social Security. elderly, those who were elderly in their 70s, 80s, if they lived to be that long, they lived in poverty if they weren't able to save money. At the same time, these companies, these big companies, these millionaires who were billionaires now, they wanted to make more. They just wanted to make all the money. They wanted to pay the least, and they didn't give a damn about you having health care. They didn't care about kids going to school. The only reason that you have child labor laws because people fought to say no. 10-year-olds don't need to be working in a factory. They need to go to school and get an education and let them decide what they wanted to do with their future. Well, Project 2025 wants to take you back because some states like Arkansas have already got rid of their child labor laws. I don't care how dangerous it is, how unhealthy it is. 9 years old, get your ass in there and work for it. $7.25 an hour, $8 an hour. That's what's in Project 2025. It's just a blueprint for the cult that is behind the cult leader, Orange Hitler, to basically turn black people on, because I want to use my word not carefully, but I want to be accurate. To basically take black people in America and women and other Native Americans, biracial folks too. Don't think your whiteness ain't gonna protect you from your blackness, because they don't like biracial folks, even though some biracial folks think that they're better than. Not all, not even most. But, even if I can kind of pass and, I'm biracial. Well, if they like the white part of you, they'll hate the black part. And your biracialness won't save your ass. You'll be in the same internment camps right next to me and somebody that's, darker than me, somebody that's lighter than me. It won't matter. It won't matter. So Project 2025 is just a blueprint. It's just on paper, an outline, a blueprint to create policies and laws to return America to a time 200 years ago when black people were second-class citizens, really less than that, where Native Americans were, they wouldn't call them Hispanics, but those that came from Central America, from Mexico, were second-class citizens. Chinese. They had something in the 1800s called the Chinese Exclusion Act, because they allowed men from China to come to America in the 1800s. The railroad barons that owned the railroad companies, they allowed them to come to America to build the railroads. But they only allowed single men, only single Chinese men, and those Chinese men who came to America in the 1800s could not marry. And when they felt it was too many, then they came up with the Chinese Exclusion Act. Oh, but they also had similar laws against the Irish and Italians. Oh yeah, they did. You can Google that too. So that's what Project 2025 is the blueprint, the outline, the game plan in black and white in writing to take away the rights of black men, black women, biracial people, people of color, Native Americans, Asian Americans, and even poor and working class white people, to take away your labor rights. No more unions. Why do you think all these southern states, they call them right to work? I call it right to work for free. They're like, oh, unions are bad. No, unions are the reason that people have like off days, 40-hour a week work weeks, that you actually can't get vacations, that you can work in conditions that are safe, that don't put your life at risk, that you could get a raise if the company made huge profits, that the employees that actually did the work for the CEO that had to make all this money, that the workers should share in the profits that the companies have. That was unions. That's why they want to get rid of unions. So like I said, poor and working class white people, they are coming, they're already coming for white women. A national abortion ban is not a national abortion ban for black women. It is a national abortion ban. So white women, that includes you too. Because they don't want you to be a CEO. They want you to have babies and to be barefoot, pregnant, and stay at home and take care of kids while they can go out and have mistresses and affairs and have, side families and all that. Because it's all happened. I'm not making this up. This is the part of the history, because they do want to ban the teaching of true American history. So anything about black people accomplishing anything, and anything like the Tulsa Race Massacre, to where you had, white nationalists burning down communities and bombing, they don't want that to be taught. Because they don't want young white kids to learn about that. Oh my God. They may hate themselves. No. They may hate what happened and wonder, how could their ancestors, how could their grandparents and great-grandparents and great-great-grandparents, why did they hate black people so much? Why did they hate women so much? What did black people and women and Native Americans ever do to these powerful white men who had a lot of money? And they weren't real crazy about poor working class white people like my uncle or grandparent or grandmother. Why did they didn't have labor laws, and why were they exploited? They worked hard and couldn't make an honest living and couldn't get health insurance, which is all part of what labor unions fought for, to make sure that employees could have good health insurance, that if they were hurt on a job, that they could be compensated. All that's going to be gone. And the plan to get rid of all that is all in Project 2025. Hello, shout out to my mother. Shout out to everybody watching the show. Please leave your comment. That's everybody. I don't care who you are. Leave your comment on the show. Spread the word. Copy and paste the link. Copy and paste it to a text message. Copy and paste it to an email or text message. Feel free to share it, to tag someone else's page, however you do it. Share it on your page. Share and tag all your friends on Instagram, on TikTok, on Threads, on X or Twitter, on Facebook, right here on YouTube, and subscribe to the Geno Jones channel. I've got to go 1,000 new. I want to get 1,000 new subscribers roughly in the next 45 days. So I started this campaign about 15 days ago. So I'm on my way. So my target date, the end of Labor Day. The end of Labor Day weekend, my goal, 1,000 new additional subscribers that will allow me to get this YouTube, as the kids say, YouTube bag. I qualify as a YouTube partner now, but I want to go to the next level so I can get that Club Shay Shannon Sharp YouTube bag. Thank you for watching, everybody. The Geno Jones Show, brought to you by CM. CM like Mary, my mother's name. CM Transportation, LLC.net. You can check them out online. If your business needs a transportation company that is dependable, reliable, and on time, not necessarily CP time, or I should say, if you are starting a business, if you are launching a business, and that's right, you need a transportation company that is dependable, reliable, and on time. CM Transportation, LLC.net, or you can call them 843 area code, based here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro, but they do business nationwide. 606-2702. 606-2702. 606-2702. 843 area code. If you call, ask for Carissa Carter. She is the CEO. Beautiful, beautiful person. Beautiful sister, African-American woman owned business. She has one of the top transportation companies in America, period. Regardless of ethnicity, background, gender. CM Transportation Company, one of the top transportation companies in America, period, full stop. So give her a call. Shout out to Mr. Markel Bailey, fresh out of the chair, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. Got me camera ready. Shout out to Markel Bailey. Everybody that knows him here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro, maybe you or your son or your grandson or your nephew. Ladies, he even does the ladies' cuts. So ladies, you may be watching. That's a client of Markel's. So shout out to Markel Bailey. He is the official barber and hairstylist for the show, the Geno Jones Show, CEO of Designer Cuts, beautiful new location here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro, Goose Creek, which is a suburb of Charleston. So check him out on Instagram. Check out his work. You see, come on, bam. You see it up close and personal. Check it out, check it out, boy. Tight, isn't it? All right. So, Kelby Cutting Up on IG, on Instagram. KelBecuttInup. Allie Jones, the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show, along with my man Bruce Gage. Check out Allie Jones and her Lexi Jones collection, LX.NCL_. I think she's also on Facebook now, Alexandria Jones. But check out Allie and her Lexi Jones collection, LX.NCL_. Bruce Gage, Miglio di Mario Uomo. This is a suit courtesy of Miglio di Mario Uomo. That's an Italian name. And also check his collections, Flyball, the store collection. He is officially licensed. As a matter of fact, he might be the only retailer who has the official license to carry Negro Baseball League gear. Flyball, that is the officially licensed Negro Baseball League line, and Flyball, the store, Bruce Gage partnered up with the Negro League, the Negro Baseball League. So check it out, really nice stuff. Sweaters, varsity style sweater jackets, shirts, ties, t-shirts, dresses for ladies. So, but Miglio di Mario Uomo, MIGLIO MARIO, Flyball the store. That's simple. FLYBALLTHESTORE, flyballthestore.com. The next live edition of the Geno Jones Show is going to be Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Shout out to all my radio listeners. I am on vacation for my radio show until next Monday, July 15th. So if you're watching me, as a matter of fact, one of my radio listeners, they were watching the TV show last night. So spread the word, please. Tell everybody. Like I said, my goal is to get 1,000 new subscribers by the end of Labor Day. And please leave your comments here. Copy and paste the link. Copy, email it, tag it, share it, tag it, text it, whatever you need to do. Tell them to check out the show. They'll love it. All right. Thanks, everybody. I love you. We'll see you live Wednesday. Slow down, G. I don't want this vacation to go too quick from radio. No vacation here. The Geno Jones Show is always here 24/7. So we'll see you live at 6:30. If you missed any of this episode, if you have anybody that's curious, they were watching BET, they were watching when Taraji P. Henson came on and said, Google it, look it up. Project 2025 is serious. These people are serious about your oppression. This election is a choice between your freedom and your oppression. And the people that want to oppress you, they already got the plans in writing. They already got the blueprint. And it's Project 2025. You have been warned, but you have been empowered because you got the power. They are afraid of your power. And the only way that you and me can lose our power is if we give it away by not voting, by being disillusioned and discouraged and dispirited and despondent and full of despair and fear. No, we don't do that. You got the power. I got the power. And I'm going to use my power, and I'm going to use my power to make sure that you use your power. Don't let them take it from you because it's yours. Don't let them ruin not just your life. Don't let them ruin the life of your children, because part of Project 2025 is to get more racist, sexist, misogynistic, white nationalist judges, even those that's got black face like Clarence Thomas, or white face like Justice Samuel Alito. They want to get like 5 or 6 more, to where these laws, this new Jim Crow era, these new Jim Crow laws, these new suffrage laws that will oppress women, they want to get those back on the books and have a Supreme Court that says that these laws are constitutional, that it is constitutional to engage in racism and misogyny and sexism. And these laws will be on the books for another the next 6 months. The next 6 months, and what we do will determine the next 60 years. And that's what Project 25, that's what Project 2025 is all about. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please leave your comments. Please, everybody, leave your comments. I love to see what you have to say. Also, please, when I'm on camera live, put a comment in my chat room. My executive producer, Mary Dixon, my mom, she's got her comments. Just follow her. Whatever you got to say, feel free to post it in my live chat room. And please leave the comments in the comments section. And please spread the word. Tell everybody you know and don't know. Folks you love, like, not even that crazy about, can't stand, to subscribe to the Geno Jones Show. See you live Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 in Chicago, 3:30 p.m. in LA. So if you missed this, yes, Monday night's episode was fire too. So go back and watch Monday's show if you haven't. But go back and binge watch any part of this show and binge watch all my back episodes.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.